Hey, everybody, welcome to another episode of Behind the Cape. I'm data superhero Keith Belanger, and I'm joined today by fellow data superhero Shankar. Hi, welcome. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you, Keith, for having me.
Yeah, so a little bit of excitement for today. So, you've got yourself a new book that you're going to talk to us about. What's it all about?
Yes, the book is about Snowpark. I just got it launched at Summit, right? But before we get to the interesting part of the book, I actually have a demo. I've been playing around with some of the Cortex features, right?
Oh,
So I would
nice.
like to start off with a very small demo, and then we can talk a little bit about what it covers in the book.
Great. Let's do it. Let me switch over to your screen.
Perfect. So what we are going to see today is a small demo. So I've had a good chance to play around with the new pandas within Snowpark, as well as using Cortex to basically do certain tasks. Right. In this demo, I'll be using the built-in Cortex functions, as well as fine-tuning a particular model using one of the models that are available. So to start with, we have a table that we had loaded in from the internal stage, right? The table basically contains the list of descriptions, the list of title, images, and things like that. This is nothing but basically a book data set, right? We have taken a dump of the book and we have loaded that into a table. And these book contains the different ratings, the title, the description, all the other details that are required for a book. We have a very small data set here. And today, what we are going to do is we are going to see the categories of book that exist within the data set. I already pre-ran some of the queries, right? I'm going to run a few of those. So if you look at the categories, we have different categories of books that are available. So we have fiction, we have like religion, history, juvenile fiction, biography, business and economics, computer, social science, etc. For the sake of demo, since we are heading close to the auto election, we are going to shortlist the fictions, shortlist the books that are around presidents. So if you also look, some of the categories is not always in English. There are also books that are in different languages, and this is where the power of Snowpark is going to come in, as we're going to use translate towards the end to see how the translation function also works. So we have ran the category of presidents that are there, and we are finding out all the different missing values within that particular category. To see this particular graph here, you can see some of the books doesn't have descriptions. All of them have titles. Some of them doesn't have author name. Some of them doesn't have image. Some of them doesn't have preview link. Some of them doesn't have publisher information, etc. We are going to be focusing today on title and description. And we have certain titles. All of the titles are there, so there is no missing of titles. So we're going to shortlist some of the titles where the description doesn't exist, and we're going to try and create the description of it. And for the description, what we are doing here is we are basically running the Cortex function. Initially, we are generating a RAG using the vector similarity. We are generating the similarity using the embed text method using the new Snowflake Arctic embed model. And we are getting the vector search results out of it. And that results is what we are querying within Snowpark to figure out what the description and similarity is. If you look at it, for this particular title about Michael Regan, there is no description that is available, right? And the similarity score with regards to this is pretty high. So we are going to be picking this title, and then we are going to be asking the LLM to generate the description for this using the other relevant description that already exists. So what we are basically doing is we are using the other description and passing it into the similarity result in pandas, and we are generating the LLM to complete the prompt saying that generate a description for the book title using the similar description, and that similarity comes in from this particular table, which we found out using the vector search. And again, all of this is done using Snowpark. I'm not moving away from Snowflake. I'm not hard coding any model. I'm using the existing model function that is available. So if you look at it, it has generated some amount of description, which is okay, right? But let's go ahead and do some kind of fine tuning to make it better, right? For fine tuning, what we are doing is we are going to use the Snowpark container services using the Cortex fine tuning, and we'll be using the Llama model. So basically, what we are doing for fine tuning is we are taking the current description, what is in the table, along with all the different title, and we are passing it into the particular model. And out of that, we are taking both the validation and the training data, and we are overwriting that into a table, which is then passed to the Snowpark model, right? And they expect in a certain way, it has to be prompt and the completion. This is the format that Snowflake model expects for the fine tuning to work. That is what is the prompt that we need and what is the completion text that we are looking for. And we pass this information. That now the model is fine tuned. The instance of this model which I have deployed is now fine tuned. And we are using the Llama model, the 8 billion Llama 3 model that is available within Snowpark. And now for the same thing, I'm asking the data. So this is just the job that I ran before the before the meeting started. I just ran the job because it takes some time for the fine tuning to happen. Now I'm asking the same complete using this fine tuned model instead of the regular description based on similarity search. Now if you see, it is giving me a much better description compared to the previous one, right? Because the model is actually been trained by the data set what I had provided. So this is giving me a much more better, description than what we had. And for certain things, what we're going to do is some of the languages are not in English, right? So one of the titles are in Spanish. So what we are going to do is it's very easy to use the built-in function. There are a couple of built-in function like complete, extract answer, sentiment, summarize, translate. We are going to use one of these functions to take the categories that are in Spanish language and then translate it to English. So these are all the English version of it, right? And this is the Spanish version that got converted into the English version here. So all of this is again done within Snowpark. It doesn't take a lot of time to run something like this, right? Except the only time it takes is for the fine tuning to happen when you pass the data, depending on the volume of the data and the arrow size, right? But all of these features is available within Cortex. And also the interesting stuff is you no longer need to convert it back and forth into a Snowpark data frame. You can directly do it within the Python data frame by using the new pandas features within Snowpark, thanks to the Modin plugin that is available for Snowpark.
Great. I mean, that was a very cool demo. Thanks, Shankar. Really great to see the capabilities of Cortex and how powerful they are with the generative AI and the use cases you can do right directly inside Snowflake. I haven't played too much with Cortex, but the more and more I'm seeing with it, it's really a game changer for Snowflake. Um, so with that, kind of to switch topics a little bit. So, congrats again on the new book, and it's called The Ultimate Guide to Snowpark. And I really want to dig in with you and learn more about it. So let's start with Shankar. Did you do this all by yourself? Was it a group of people? Like, tell me a little bit more about that.
So I did write with my very good friend and co-author Vivek. Vivek leads the Gen AI enablement team at Verizon. This is an endeavor that we both undertook when we got the opportunity to write the book, right? And I have known Vivek for over 8 years. We have worked together, and he's one of my go-to tech guy. So I'm happy that I get to write the book with him.
Oh, that's great. It's always good to have those people you trust and work with. And it looks like you guys both have some complementary skills. But why Snowpark? What kind of brought you guys to that idea?
Sure. So when the opportunity came in from Pact, right, I wanted to write a book on a topic that is around Snowflake, as that's my area of expertise, and I've been working on it for a while. But I wanted the topic to be something that is not written before, right? Something that is interesting, and above all, I'm a person who likes to get hands-on and who like to have more programs than theory. So I wanted to write a book that the Snowflake developers can pick and learn on a new topic, and that's how I ended up deciding to go with Snowpark.
Yeah, Snowpark is a really interesting topic, and I think it again brings a lot of things to what people can do now. But what does this book cover, and what is it meant for you?
Sure. So this book explores the fundamentals and advanced features of the Snowpark framework using Python. This book is meant for developers. It covers all the way from Snowpark Foundation how to build and deploy a data pipeline, how to run models, and also build data applications using Streamlit and container apps. And above all, it comes with code examples for every concept as well as end-to-end examples. And we have a dedicated repository for all the code that are related to the book.
Yeah. So it seems like you're really covering a lot. What would you say the audience is? Is it for the beginner? Is it the advanced person? What's your take there?
So this book is meant for both beginners as well as for those who are already familiar with Snowpark and trying to get something from the book. They might also be person who are already running Snowpark who wants to take it to production. And like I mentioned before, the book does come with a code repository that contains practical examples of code for every chapter and every topic into it, right? And we made it into a perfect blend of both theory and practical applications through the use of code.
Yeah, it's always nice to go beyond theory. It's great to see books that talk about theory, but being able to practice and get your hands on things, kind of a little bit curious for the reader. Do you have something that maybe you can give us a peek at?
Sure, sure. So the first section that we are covering is around Snowpark Foundation. In the foundation section, we start off with setting up the developer environment for Snowpark and progressing towards understanding and running Snowpark. We go deep into how Snowpark works, what does the architecture, what goes under the hood, and we also talk about some of the cool things such as UDF, UDTF, stored procedure, and basically how to publish and execute the Snowpark code.
Yeah, I love that the Python worksheets and really helps the Snowpark developer to write their code in the environment. And it was great when they announced that feature at Summit. And kind of what's your kind of take on that when they announced that?
So I really love the Python worksheets, right? It is something that I have been looking forward for a while. It really helps the Snowpark developers to write code directly in an Python-like environment within Snowflake. So I no longer need to get out of Snowflake or get into another IDE to basically do it. This is definitely one of the much awaited feature and one of the really favorite features that was launched for me personally that was launched at Summit.
Yeah, so once the reader gets through what you just shared with us, where are they heading now?
So we take a systematic process. So once they master the foundation, which is very, very important, the next step is to for them to start building data pipelines in Snowpark.
So what does the book cover for this topic?
So we have written about how end-to-end data pipelines can be developed, including practical code and examples showing each step of the process using various Snowpark artifacts.
Hey, what data engineering capabilities does Snowpark currently offer?
So Snowpark started off with like a framework mainly used for data science, right? But as it grew, its capabilities expanding beyond just data science, the foundation process for anything related to data are the pipelines, right? Now you can build advanced data pipelines using Python UDF, UDTF, and stored procedure that can also be executed in tasks, as well as one of the newer features is to execute something called as tasks graph for those folks who are running complex DAGs.
Gotcha. So data pipelines are very important, and Snowpark definitely provides the additional capabilities that complement SQL. Um, I do see the event table mentioned here. There was also a huge feature announced at Summit around this. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yes, event table is very important as we get programmatic in calling various steps of the pipeline. This helps us to log and debug the steps as well as the whole pipeline. It's a very useful feature, and we even have a dedicated section about it in our book.
Data pipelines, in data management, one of the very interesting topic. Personally, myself, I have built, many using a variety of tools. It is good to see Snowpark growing in these features. What topic does the book cover next in that spot?
So once you have the data pipeline, the next step is to start building ML and models. This section of the books dives into the topic of AI and ML. Here we discuss the practical methods of using Snowpark to prepare the data, train the model, and deploy it using ML ops for inferencing.
Yeah, interesting. Every organization, God, now is looking into AI, ML, as the foundation of AI is data, right? Snowflake truly is disrupting this space as they've been doing this for years. What are some of your favorite topics in this section of the book?
So we talk a lot about how to take the Snowpark model into production. The model registry and feature store is one important and new feature that is available within Snowpark, which we cover. And we also have some cool code that can be used by readers into taking their model to production.
So the AI in Snowflake, has grown into data applications, generative AI with containers and native apps. Do you talk about those in the book?
I'm glad that you brought it up. The final portion of the book exactly covers the topic of data applications, where we show the readers how to build and deploy native apps based on Streamlit, and also the Gen AI models and using AI apps within the containers. We also discuss a little bit about how to monetize using native apps through the marketplace and bringing it together using Snowpark models that you deploy in the previous section. And we also even have an end-to-end Streamlit app that brings the whole process together.
Bet you that's a pretty popular section in the book. Your book covers a lot of information in Snowpark end to end, so I can definitely see why you called this the ultimate guide. Is this yours or your partners that did this? Is this your first book?
Yes, Keith, this is our first book.
How was that journey in writing the book? I'm always curious to understand how people took that journey, in that, especially your first one.
Yes, the journey was definitely an interesting one. Writing a book is hard in general, and it is even harder for first time authors like us, right? But also writing for a topic like Snowpark has its own set of challenges. We started the book almost a year ago, and Snowpark was still growing at that time. Writing about technology that is rapidly evolving made parts of the book outdated by the time it's published, and we had to go back and change it a lot. Some of the preview features we couldn't write about it, so these things had to be added once it became public. And we were both first time authors, so finding the right balance between technically thorough material and accessible to a wider audience was another challenge that we had to get through. But on a personal level, it was definitely an emotional journey and a struggle for us. My co-author Vivek underwent a major kidney transplant surgery around the same time we wrote the book, a struggle that he has been facing for over 5 years due to his genetic condition that both of his kidneys have failed. It was finally over. Midway through the book, his health took a severe downturn, leading to a necessary kidney transplant surgery. Some parts of the book he actually wrote it from the hospital as he underwent the transplant because we had to finish the deadline and release the book. Is dedicated his recovery time in completing the final sections of the book and things that we had to change as new features were introduced. So this book is more than me. This book is even more deeply emotional value for him.
Yeah, wow, that's an interesting story. It's like, do you mind, doctor? Can you move your hand? I need to finish writing this
Yeah.
chapter. But on a serious note, I'm glad that he is doing great, and it really looks like you guys have really done something that feels like an impossibility with the situations that you were dealing with.
Yes, and I'm grateful and thankful that we were able to complete the book and launch it on time at the summit.
Yeah. So we are very, very happy for you, and I think in all of us in the data industry, and even us data superheroes. I think I always see and like to see other superheroes. We've seen other authors, and wish you all the success in this. We are proud that you worked in the work that you have done for the Snowflake community, and really, where I'd love to share. Where can people get your book and get more information about it?
Sure. So before that, I have few more people to thank, right? So first of all, Vivek, I'm very grateful for him for being a co-author, without whom I couldn't have completed the book, right? I'm also additionally grateful to a lot of people, starting with Snowflake, who provided great support and for building a platform like this, without which the book couldn't exist. I'm grateful to my publisher, Pact, right? They were very flexible and supportive in helping us while we huddled through all the challenges, right? And I have to mention this. I'm incredibly thankful to my good friend Jeff Holland, who leads the Snowpark at Snowflake. He was kind enough to write the foreword for the book. He has been an advocate, and he also helped promote the book around within his network. And I'm extremely thankful to the Snowflake Data Rich Superheroes and the whole community, people like you, right? I've been getting a lot of support, a lot of encouragement. Like, a lot of folks have been coming out to support me in various activities, right? Folks like you, Maja, Chris, Sophia, and a lot of others, right, helped me out throughout the process of the book.
It's fantastic. So let's reveal, where can people get the book? There
Yes.
it
So the
is.
book is available in Amazon as well as in both packed and orally subscriptions. You can also grab it and find it in Barnes and Nobles, and there are other third-party websites which sell outside of the US.
Yeah, and I'll just add to it for those of you, if you look in the comments below, we will share these links as well. I'm going to bring our pretty faces back to the screen. That was fantastic, Shankar. I always enjoy, you know, seeing other people's success, and having probably, many of us been working with Snowflake over the years, have seen it progress. I mean, years ago, Snowpark would have been the dream, and here we are, and then the book that you put together. So I know I appreciate it. I'm sure everybody else here listening appreciates, and thank you very much for joining me today.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Keith.
Great. And everybody, we'll see you on the next episode of Behind the Cape. Bye.